Welcome to the ThunderCast, your martial athletics podcast produced by the fans, for the fans, with your hosts, Russ Livingood and Jed Horton. We're bringing you the thundering word on the thundering herd each and every week, so keep it right here because the ThunderCast is on the loose. Thanks for downloading another episode of the ThunderCast. Russ back with Jed as we do it every week. Jed, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm excited to be here. We are in the full swing of things now as it concerns martial athletics. So now we've got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. When mid-August hits, 4 teams pretty much kick off, 4 to 5 really, and we'll have things around the herd every single week. We're always going to have our 5 things every herd fan needs to know this week, and we're going to bring those to you as well. But first, make sure if you're watching, listening, wherever you're consuming this right now, make sure to like and subscribe so you get notifications every time we put out a show. We're putting out at least 2 a week now, and here in the next probably 4 months, we're going to have at least 3 a week. So make sure you hit like and subscribe and never miss an episode of what we have coming up. Jed, we got a busy week. You and I earlier shot some footage at the Dutch Miller deck with Devin Miller, and we'll have that episode up probably really close to when people are watching this one, within a day or so of it. But that's something that we encourage everybody to look at, pass along. If you're not able or interested in getting passes for the deck, you never know which of your friends are that don't know about it. So please share that when you see it. But Jed, right now, before we get going, let's get a word from our sponsors at Leasure Oliver PLLC. If you've been hurt in a wreck, call the law firm of Leasure Oliver PLLC. Find them at 304carwreck.com. All right, man. Every single week that we've been doing this, and because ignite.link sponsors it, and you are Mr. ignite.link. We always say it's a short week, or it's in the middle of the summer, or what could possibly be news this week. And we always come up with at least 5 things. And this week we have 5 plus a bonus. So here's 6 things. And now here are at least 5 things every herd fan needs to know this week. As always, brought to you by ignite.link, the Tri-State's premier IT management team. All right, number 1, the team captains have been named for Marshall football. Tight end Toby Payne, offensive lineman Jalen Slappy, offensive lineman Eric Meeks, defensive lineman Katron Evans, and defensive back Marvay Myers. Jed, 5 people here, and the post and the comments by Tony Gibson said these 5 players have earned the trust of the locker room.
And that's huge. Your captains have to be, they're not always the most outspoken all the time. You've got captains that can be, a little more reserved and things like that. But you've got to have guys who can be leaders on and off the field for their team. Guys that are going to be able to, continue to lead when things get tough. You're down. You're down by 14. Things. You've got the trials that have that they'll have, that you got to have these guys that can be looked up to and be those voices. So on a Tony Gibson team, I really think that the expectations are extremely high. So for these guys to be captains, they stood out and definitely would have the backing of the locker room. So
3 of these players, all 3 from the offense, were here last year at least. So we have, and I believe all 3 of those have been here for at least 3 years, if I'm counting correctly. But 2 newcomers are both on the defensive side of the ball. But Slappy and Toby Payne have gotten some love in some preseason awards and things like that. So all 5 of these projected to be starters. it looks like a really rounded out kind of thing. Newcomers, returning players, offense, defense. I'm here for it.
Same.
And speaking of Jalen Slappy, he's their number 2 as well. Hero Sports named Jalen Slappy to their group of 5 All-American third team. Now, someone watching or listening may say, Hero Sports, third team, what's that matter? Well, 1, we celebrate all these things, but 2, that could mean he is the 3rd best guard in the group of 5. That's pretty big. I also love to see these group of 5 things because the P4 gets whatever they want. They just spend money and they exclude everybody else, and they overlook some of these players that are on the group of 5, now group of 6. I hate the term, but it's their award name. But these players are overlooked. And every year you see these overlooked players get scooped up to be starters at the P4 squads and everything. And it's not like they all of a sudden got good once they got transferred to that school. They were already good, man.
Yeah.
So we are going to share that love, and we love that Jalen Slappy got this award. Got any thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's Jalen Slappy is a name that we're going to be saying a lot, I think, over the next few months, towards the end of the year, whether it be awards or his workout on the field. He's just a guy that we're just going to talk a lot about, and so it's good to have him in a 5 things, and I have a feeling he's going to be a season regular through these next few months.
He has he stayed here. He's got the longest streak of starts, and he could have gone elsewhere, but he stayed. I'm sure that his former coach would have loved to have had him follow all the other players that he took. Jalen Slappy stayed. Now he's getting these awards, getting this recognition, and he's a captain on the football team. So we love Jalen Slappy. Number 3, some athletic department news. Nisha Campbell follows athletic director Gerald Harrison over from Austin Peay and is named Deputy Athletic Director, Chief Operating Officer, and Senior Woman Administrator. 3 different titles.
Yeah, it's he alluded in his opening press conference that there may be some people that he wanted to bring over during the questioning portion when they were asking him. And so, you hire him, you've laid that responsibility at his feet. Not to say that, there's any ill will or people we need to get rid of in the athletic department, nothing like that. But, he's going to want to bring some of his folks over if he can to fill certain roles that they filled before. And, this was kind of expected to kind of see some movement. I would still expect to see a little bit of movement as he jumps in and starts kind of this being the Gerald department and not the previous. So
yeah, and she was at Duke. He was at Duke. She went to Austin Peay while he was Austin Peay. Served in this same role as deputy athletic director. So it's not like she's getting a bump up or whatever. She is already here doing what she did at the previous stop. He did say that he felt like there could be some restructuring, that he would have to wait to see until he got here. So this is probably, if I had to imagine, in his mind as a possible move, even when he's applying for the job. It's like, man, I love what this person is doing here. If I were to get a new opportunity, this would be on my very, very, very shortest list of someone that I would want to bring with me. So same position coming over. And you notice with athletic director is not his only title. There has already been a restructuring. He is vice president. So that puts him on the executive cabinet with President Brad Smith. So already we see some new titles for both Gerald Harrison and now Nisha Campbell for these new roles. It seems like they'll have some expanded duties in these names. So just something to watch, and then see who else gets brought over, who leaves for other opportunities, and how things get restructured.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, we got somebody else came over. It came from NC State, but Harrison Eaton is our new director of creative video. This replaces Stan, who was amazing, Stan Williams. He and Rodney Casey just started pumping out like all this cool video stuff, the graphic stuff, the photos that they were doing, totally up the social media game. Stan was really, really good. He owns his own photography and videography business, so he is moving on to do more of that. And that left a huge hole, and now we have Harrison Eaton. And Jed, before I throw it to you, I just want to tell everybody that Rodney Casey put out that that helmet reveal video. That was him and Harrison's first collaboration. So if you like that video, you've already liked Harrison Eaton's work. You just didn't know it, probably.
So yeah, I didn't know that. So that was news to me. So and I thought that was a pretty cool video. Got a lot of views.
Oh yeah.
I think I watched that like 5 times over.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was super cool what they did there. So no, glad to have him on the team. Killer first video to collaborate on. Excited to see how he does moving forward throughout these sports seasons with soccer, volleyball, and football, obviously.
And it is such an important thing that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, definitely while I was in school, I didn't pay attention to things like this. But now this is such a crucial thing for brand awareness. And it's all about going viral and getting more eyes and everything. You never know what recruits will become aware of Marshall or what students will become aware of Marshall just from stuff that they are seeing on social media.
Yeah, it was like that when they did the drone flyover video,
right?
And kind of twisted the rules a little bit on that.
Man, was it worth that fine?
100% worth it.
Yeah,
but things like that, and that made the rounds on social media because for one, you can't do that. So
right.
to have that in a Division I football game, them running in with that crowd, and
that's right.
I mean, that was awesome, and a lot of eyes saw that just well beyond just Marshall folk. That was a national. People saw it. So things like that. You're right. I mean, recruits. Everybody lives for the most part on social media, and the reshares and the likes and the you can reach such a wide audience on those platforms. So
yeah, speaking of that, I mean, this has nothing to do with Marshall. It was everything to do with me putting out one tweet. But I was at the reverse raffle, and I just said, "Hey, can I get a couple of photos of that? I'd like to have that. Is it okay to put these out on social media?" I mean, because the helmet had been revealed already by that point. It was revealed live there at the reverse raffle. And while they did that, they went ahead and posted the video on their socials so everyone could see it simultaneously. And I took a side view, front view, and back view of that helmet. And I just tweeted it out. I got home around midnight and tweeted that out. And I woke up the next morning and it took off, man. And last I looked, it had 98,000 views or something like that. Yeah, something insane. Well over 2,100 people liked it. All kinds of comments from everywhere, and people were talking about how insanely clean that helmet was. And it is, but I mean, you're talking about people that maybe are not familiar with the Marshall brand. So then they start looking and they go, wow, look at these black helmets. Look at the 75 game helmets. Look at their jerseys that they just came out with. So that sort of thing helps. And, Harrison, Rodney, everybody that helps, those are not the only two, but everybody in that entire department, so crucial for what that brings to awareness and just overall likability of our brand.
Absolutely.
Number 5, United Soccer coaches have named several players to watch lists across the country at each position. And the Herd have 3 players on those watch lists. Newcomer Yasha Scherer is a midfielder to watch, and Takahiro Fujita, currently rehabbing and getting ready to come back, and Hirai Pinto are named defenders to watch. Fujita has gotten some preseason love already. Pinto has gotten some preseason love. Scherer is one of those ones that we brought over. uh, cannot remember the school that he was at, but he was a huge transfer, new piece to the puzzle. So love to see these guys getting that recognition from United Soccer coaches, and as we know from the rankings, that is pretty much the definitive um, body in men's soccer and women's soccer in the collegiate level.
Yeah, it's good to get a little bit more love than what we did from the Sun Belt
That's
preseason.
right. That's right.
And I think these are going to continue to build. Coach Grassi has proven year in year out that he's reloading every
Mhm.
year and not rebuilding, just reloading. And so with that, you're gonna see some players, especially I think some of these transfers, and you're gonna see players that have been here as well,
Mhm.
start to shine and the lack of preseason accolades from the Sun Belt. I think we're going to see some postseason accolades. Heavily favor the Herd, but it's good to see that United Soccer coaches are willing to give us a few more names on the watch list. But I think you could even see some additional names than what's just mentioned here.
Yeah. Um, we said it. I think it was one of those episodes that KD came back for one of these 5 things, and it was the first one he had done in a long time. And we were talking about Coach Grassi, and I was like, even if we don't know much about this commitment or this transfer or whatever, I trust Chris Grassi.
Yeah.
So seeing him bring over Scherer, I immediately, and probably every coach in the country immediately, if they weren't aware of that guy, was like, I'm sure he's going to be really good,
Yeah.
because that's just it's what we've done, man. We have just
Right.
we have lost people to MLS super drafts. We have lost people
Mhm.
right and left, and all we have done is reload and seemingly get better each and every year.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, and the final thing, Randy Moss has been named to the Associate Press all-time All-American first team. If anyone did not see that correctly, that was where it needed to be, you are not a ball knower. You are not a fan of college football. You are not a fan of athleticism. This man may be the greatest college football player that I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I'm a little older than people think, and I have just never seen someone dominate like this guy did. And miss me with, well, it was at Marshall against MAC opponents, and miss me with, well, one season was against FCS at the time, Division 1AA. Miss me with all that, because it doesn't matter who this guy went up against. He made an Ole Miss SEC defensive back look like he should have been on the bench in the very first snap that they saw in that bowl game, Randy's first bowl game. So we love Moss. We know what Moss is, and he is definitely first team wide receiver on anyone's all-time list for college. But now it's been proven a fact by the Associated Press.
Yeah, I didn't know that this hadn't happened yet. To be honest,
Well, I think they just came out with this list, so this was like
okay.
4 or 5 days ago was the first time they did
First
this,
time.
and,
Okay,
and
because I had not heard of it.
maybe they've done it like, because this is 2025, maybe every 5 years, every 10 years, whatever, they update this thing. But I have not seen this before a couple of days ago.
Well, so this is a guy that you definitely don't leave off this list. He's probably one of your first ones that you put on the list. But
Has to be.
Yeah, what else can I say that you haven't already? I mean, it's if there's any list of goats, he's when it concerns college football or professional football, yeah, he's in the top.
He's the most known GOAT right under Billy. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Well, Jed, that does it this week for 6 things every herd fan needs to know this week. And as always, brought to you by Ignite.Link.
That was a great 6 things too. It's every time we do the list, whether it's 5 things or 8 things, 10 things, and it's just there's always such good content, things that the average fan who's listening, whenever you and KD were doing these, that there was always quite a few of these where I'm just like, oh, wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Well, I didn't know that. So
And that's
always
one of the
important.
things that we like, and Ignite Link helps us do that, is bring these things awareness and an aggregate of what's going on around herd athletics. And I hear people tell me that all the time. They tell KD that all the time. And it makes us feel good because that is the number one mission that we are to do, is to bring information to herd fans. And yes, all this information is out there because I got it from somewhere. But if you don't know where to look, or things slip through the cracks, you might miss some of these things. So we like to bring them to you, and we cannot thank you and Ignite Link enough for allowing that to happen.
Yep. And it's I'm a big consumer of podcasts just in general. I enjoy listening to those type of things instead of reading. I do read some things like that online. But with this, these type of things, like I enjoy like driving to and from. I would say there's probably good chunk of listeners that are doing that, from their car. That's anytime you and KD are doing something, I'm listening, and it's usually from my car going to and from, or if I'm sitting at my desk, got my hair, goes in and listening. So, great way to your point from earlier, we appreciate everybody who tunes in and listens. It's for you, it's for the fans, and we are very appreciative of that. So, with that being said, Russ, how about we go ahead and take it around the herd?
Let's do it. And Layer One Solutions is helping us go around the herd. And now, Layer One Solutions, your experts in business connectivity infrastructure, takes you around the herd.
We're going to start with softball, and with a commitment from Kennedy Lamb, who is pitcher first base from Mojave Valley, Arizona.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw on her timeline, this was back in May. She had tweeted out that I guess this was their first round of the playoffs or whatever. She pitched a no hitter and hit 2 home runs. No big deal. I mean, so
Right.
if we can get that here at Marshall, bring it on.
Right.
I'll take a no hitter and a couple of dingers.
Sure.
In a playoff game.
Right.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of the accolades that she was up for and she got, and some of the stats that she had. And I don't have that in front of me right now to look. Sometimes those things are inaccurate because they're not fully updated, and sometimes they're like different, because some of them maybe they include what they've done postseason play. Maybe it's for an AAU type squad or a travel ball squad thing. So you never really know what you're reporting, if it's accurate or whatever. So I don't have those to give, but just know that no hitters, homers, she can do it all. I don't know if she'll be that kind of Bub Faringa that's here or was here the last 4 years, that was a pitcher, but you could also, put her in as the designated player. You can put her in at several different places for utility. I don't know if she'll come here and not pitch, and her offense is just so good that they want her to be out there all day, every day, at every single game, every single at bat. I don't know, but we got a good athlete, and we got somebody that did it well on both sides.
Yeah, and it's always good to get that too. Get that athlete who's very versatile and may plug a hole somewhere else at some point as well. It's always good to have that.
Yeah.
We do moving on. We do have another schedule that has come out, and that is Swim and Dive. They have released their schedule, and I believe you have that.
I do. I
Okay.
do. September the 20th in Huntington is going to be the first thing. It's the green and white meet, kind of intra squad, if you want to call it that, or whatever. I don't know if they're going to have some other people there, if it's going to be like an exhibition or if it's going to be, whatever, but that's just what they have it. We'll try, and especially when it gets closer to that time, give you more details about it. 10-10. WVU comes down for the duel in the pool. And that's right here in Huntington this time. We have seen these things where we have to go up to Morgantown, and now they're coming down here. And it says duel in the pool. So I'm thinking it's just Marshall and WVU and not the Concords and Fairmonts and things like that we've seen of these before. But again, when it gets closer to that October date, we'll have that for you. Then there's some away meets, and then we get back down here in January. Duquesne comes to town the very next day. Bowling Green and Duquesne comes, and then the week after that, January 24th, Toledo hits. The American Athletic Championships are in Greensboro, and that's mid-February. The NCAA zones for diving is in early to mid-March, and then the Women's NCAA Championships in Atlanta, Georgia this year is in mid to late March, March 18th to March 21st. So there you have it. We've got a new conference that we're going to be in. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times for herd fans to go see our swim and dive athletes here at Marshall. It's such a fun time. I never knew what I was missing. I think I told you and everybody else that when I went there the first time, I went in through Gullickson, which is the wrong way to try to do that. But if you're interested in a very fun, different sporting event than you're used to going to, if you've not been to one of these before, I encourage everybody that's watching and listening to go over and see one of these meets.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just add that to the list of all the athletic events that are going on during that time, and if you can, come on over and check it out.
Yeah, man. When you see these relays and you see these, individuals swimming back and forth, and how it's going to come down to who's going to be able to smack the wall first, and it's such a camera finish, photo finish. It's very exciting, and everybody in there is into it. And then the diving is just unbelievable that they can do what they do. So yeah, get over there.
Yeah, I enjoy the beach, as much as anybody. When it comes to swimming, I like to swim, but I sink like a rock. And to watch these swimmers to be able to do that is very, very impressive, because I have, no gifts in that area. So let's go ahead and take it on over to cross country and track and field.
Right.
They have introduced the Cross Country Track and Field Relay Club. All right. It is a championship fund for donor members looking to help the track program specifically.
Yeah, so they have some different things. You can find it over on Herd Zone, but they've got some different levels. I think it's $300, $500, and $1,000, and this goes directly to that championship fund for track and field. You get this select meal with the team, this catered event that you go to and everything for one of them. You get some swag and gear and everything. But what you really get out of this is help the trajectory that this team is on. And really, there's 4 teams here. But this entire, track program, you get to help them increase. And they have gotten some absolute studs coming in. I was speaking to Keith Roberts, the head coach, and I just said, I saw where we were bringing in a conference champion from somewhere on a transfer, and he was like, two conference champions, and he was talking about some of their times right now and where they would place right now in the Sun Belt, and we're talking top 3 or even best in class. So it's really, really exciting what's going on in this program, and they are building. The men coming back has only been 3 seasons now, but it hasn't even been 3 full years. If my math and memory is going correctly, um, but you can help out doing this. We put this out. KD from our Twitter put that out and shared that, and one of our followers that's maybe watching or listening right now said done, and they did it. So it's that easy. Just go over to the links on social media and click it. You can go to herdzone.com. You can find it there. If you need help, ask us, we'll help you. But very easy to help this track and cross country program and help them take the next steps that they need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as they've been on the rise these last few years. You've had some. We've talked a lot about track and field, and there's been some standout names that we've talked about week in, week out when the season is around. So yeah, contribute, help out. Let's continue the rise of really all of our programs is what we're all about. Volleyball. Let's go over there. They will have their first exhibition game, so they're getting ready to get their season underway. But it'll be on the road. It'll be on Friday at Ohio at 6 p.m.
Yeah, and we have a lot of fans that are in that Ohio, Athens area, Ohio University, even Gallipolis, not that far from there, but up in West Virginia, over in the Parkersburg area, there's a lot of people that are in that area. And if you got nothing else going on, or you find yourself wanting to go to Athens, pretty cool town for the weekend, go up there and support our herd girls. And I promise you, just as I said with swim and dive, it's a very fun event to go to if you've not been to that.
Yeah, and Athens is such an easy drive too. So as far as schools as we play, playing them in all sports, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, it's always it's a good away game to go to, easy to get to.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about soccer, and we're going to start with women's soccer. They won 3-0 to open their season last week at Morehead State. They are, as of while we're recording, they are playing right now at the Vet, hosting Glenville State. That game started at 7. Currently, I pulled it up here. Currently, they are up 1-0 with 17 minutes left in the first half. And from what I've been able to see as I keep glancing over here occasionally, we seem to be absolutely dominating them at the moment. Just haven't been able to put it in the back of the net a few more times.
Yeah, this team is one that we have talked about a lot, about going to turn the corner, we feel, this year, going to make a statement this year. Got out to a great start. People that might not know would say, Morehead, isn't that lower level or whatever? They were picked to finish 4th in their conference, and I believe they beat us last year. I'd have to go back, but I think that they beat us last year. But 3-0, and it wasn't really close, and then jumped out to a good start here against Glenville. And before we hit that Sunbelt Conference schedule, that's what you want to see, is shutting teams out and getting a lot of higher shots on goal, and that's what we did all exhibition, and that's what we did against Morehead. So love to see that continue early on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I've been able to see, and I'm just glancing over here. Whoops, I said my mic. Glancing over here occasionally. It's I don't think they've hardly got the ball on our side of the field. So it looks to me probably another dominating game. It'll be very, very interesting once we get into the meat of the schedule. How they continue to play. Speaking of meat of the schedule, and speaking of Athens, Ohio, they will be at Ohio on Sunday at 4 p.m. So if you want to make another road trip up towards Athens, you can do that on Sunday.
I looked up that thing. It was a tie. It was a draw last year, 1-1. in the home opener that we had last year. So beat Moorhead 3-0 this year when they were predicted to be fourth in their conference, and last year we had a draw here on our home field. So I'll take that as some improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you've got a team like this too, where you've got a lot of new players that have come in and playing together for the first time, you're looking at lineups. You see this on the men's side as well. You're looking at lineups and strategy and who is best to go where. So these early season wins, as great as they are, may not be an indicator of how much better we'll end up towards the end of the season as we start putting the pieces together. So in typical fashion, you're going to see this team get even better. So,
yeah, they're going to grow.
So sticking with soccer, but on the men's side, we picked up a commitment from a commit, Joao. Did I pronounce that right?
Joao.
I'm sorry, Joao
Sorry.
Alves from Portugal. We were talking about this before we hit record, and so we just picked him up, and then I believe he played in one of the exhibition games. Maybe
I think he played in at least two.
Two.
I think he played in Maryland and then one that was here, but there's no stats for Maryland. They didn't really share anything. These exhibitions, the ones that were here, of course, we were able to get a lot of. You could go watch them, and then fans saw that, shared it online. Tyler Kennett with the Herald Dispatch shared all the stuff. He was there live reporting on it and put it out on social. So we had some info, but these exhibitions are usually not filmed. They're not. They don't keep good score records that they pass along, like how many shots on goal and things like that. So they didn't have any information on him playing, but I think that he did there. They are announcing it now. As I understand it, we had, issues with, visas and things like that. Obviously, he's got a visa to be here and playing in an exhibition, but as far as like announcing them for, being on the roster, they have certain things that they have to do with NCAA and everything. So yeah, he has been here. It's just now getting reported that he is here on the roster.
Right. So speaking of exhibition games, we did have one at Maryland on Friday. Mm-hmm. That was the match they were traveling to when you interviewed Coach, and that one finished in a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
I did not get to catch much. I didn't get to catch any of that game because I wasn't there, but I was trying to follow some threads, I think, and we were down, I believe, 2-0 at 2-0 at half.
Yeah.
But it sounded like to me that there was a lot of rotation going on, a lot of subs, a lot of things like that. And again, that's what those exhibition games are
right.
for. So
yeah,
you got to take some of those with a little bit of a grain of salt. Still finished 2-2, put up 2 goals in the second half to end it in a draw. However, exhibition season is over. It is now for our first game, official game of the season, and that is going to be on this Friday at 7:15 as we host George Mason. Any thoughts on the exhibition game, Russ, and then thoughts on this first home game coming up on Friday?
It just feels like they turned it on when they needed to not walk away with a loss. It's always better to draw than to lose. But what you were saying is a lot of rotation, trying to fill out this, fill out that. I don't know what Maryland did, but it seems to me like just from what I have seen, we probably could have won that game if it counted in the ledger for the regular season or postseason. It would have been coached differently and it would have been played differently and all that sort of thing. It's an exhibition where you're trying to just find out some who should play where. Let's try this, let's try that. So not worried at all that we came away with a draw, which is nowhere near as bad as a loss when you're looking at the rankings and things. So first game being this Friday, we're recording this later Wednesday evening. So you're probably going to have this posted and watching it Thursday. Make sure tomorrow you get over there and go to this game. They are planning a massive tailgate. They're expecting that, everybody's going to be out there tailgating and everything, but just get in that mood for going over and packing the vet, giving us that really, really hard to beat home field advantage, because of all of our rabid fans that are over there. And Coach Grassy, if you have not seen that or watched that or listened to that interview that I did with him, he said that it is loud and it is a great energy over there, but no one is really disrespectful and hateful to the other teams and players. It's just all cheering on our Marshall squad and giving that energy to our players and making it so difficult that way. So get over and do that. Go tailgate beforehand. If you're not going to things like earlier that day, if you're in the 110% club for the Big Green, you've been increasing your donation by 110%. They've got an event there at the stadium. So if you're not going to that, go on down to the tailgate. If you are going to that, do that, then go on down to the stadium. Go to the tailgate. Let's pack it out and start off 1-0 on this season.
Absolutely. It's such a fun environment. If you've not been,
Yeah.
it is one of my favorite environments. My kids, all of my kids play soccer at some level. But definitely my oldest, plays more competitively. And so we love to go to the games, and that the environment is such an incredible environment for a college soccer match. I mean, you can put it up against just about any venue in the country, really, when it comes to college soccer. Fans pack out. It's loud. It's a lot of fun. Definitely well worth it if you've not been. Even if you don't understand soccer, go and watch it. It's a good time. You'll enjoy it. If you've got kids, they're going to enjoy it as well. So, pack it out. Make this a really, really good first home game, and let's be the 12th. Let's be the 12th man.
And I know a lot of fans that did not grow up watching soccer because it was not offered in their area as a kid, and I'm one of them. And I'm one of them that did not understand anything. But over the last 7 years or something, I have become at least knowledgeable enough to know what I'm watching. I couldn't go coach it. I definitely couldn't play it, but I can appreciate it and understand, what we're doing great. What seems like, hey, there's an imminent threat for us to score a goal right here. You can see the play developing. So if you don't know it and understand it, go. This is one of the greatest ways to learn it, and it's how I learned it, was Marshall soccer and watching them, and you will come to enjoy and appreciate it. And who would not want to cheer for your alma mater or your beloved team that is a threat to play for the national championship any given season?
In your backyard, you get to watch year in, year out one of the best soccer programs in the country compete multiple times throughout the season. That's the thing that I try to get across to people is like, year in, year out, you're watching some of the best college soccer, and it's just right here in our backyard if you live local. And if you don't live local, try to make it in. Look at the schedule. If you're going to come in for a home football game, try to align it with a soccer game if you can, and catch that as well. Russ, that wraps up the Around the Herd segment, brought to you by Layer 1 Solutions.
Yeah, I can't thank Layer 1 Solutions enough, just like we can't thank ignite.link enough, and we cannot thank Leasure Oliver PLLC enough. I say this all the time, but if you're watching and listening, they have made it possible for us to bring you this content. So if you like this and you want to help out, when you have a need for their services, make sure that is who you and your friends are using. And I say this all the time. Jed is a massive Herd fan, if you cannot tell, because he's here doing this show. But, he's got the tickets. He goes to the games. He makes the donations. He studies this content. He lives this content, and he helps bring it to you. Herd fans love to do business with herd fans. So if you herd fans have a need for ignite.link or Layer 1 services, make sure you click those links, follow them on socials, call Jed, email Jed. All that stuff's out there. If you don't know, comment below and we'll help you find it. But Jed, if you don't have anything else, I'm going to take us out of here.
That's all I have.
All right. So whether you see us at the Jack, whether you see us at the Joan, or whether you see us Friday tailgating our faces off and then bringing home a victory to start 1-0 for Herd men's soccer, no matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go Herd. It's the Thundercast, and we'll see you very soon.
Go Herd.